As I can't go out sketching at the moment, I've been filling my time doing lots of other things, like playing music and trying out new materials, but also flipping through some of the sketching and other art books I've accumulated over the years, including this one, Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain by Betty Edwards. The book's overall aim is simple. It aims to teach anyone to draw, making drawing more about observation. Drawing's a skill that can be learned by anyone, not just those with natural talent. By coincidence, one of the exercises in it happened to pop up on my YouTube homepage as a suggested video, claiming that this exercise changed their life. Intrigued, and with extra time on my hands, I decided I'd give the exercise a try and see if it changed my life too. So, what is this life-changing exercise? Basically, the exercise is to turn the subject upside down and draw it upside down. This way, you're copying the drawing just as you see it, not as you perceive it to be. So I'll go through the instructions in the book, I'll paraphrase them. As it's my first attempt, I've chosen something a lot simpler than the example given in the book. You can choose anything you like, but the book does suggest using a line drawing. To start off, find a quiet place to draw where no one will interrupt you. Finish the drawing in one sitting, allowing yourself about 30 to 40 minutes, more if possible. And it says to set an alarm clock or a timer so that you can forget about keeping time, which is a left brain function. And most importantly, don't turn the drawing the right way up until you've finished. Because it says that if you turn the drawing the right way round, this will cause a shift back to the left brain mode. It goes on to say, start the drawing at the top and copy each line, moving from line to line, putting it all together a bit like a jigsaw puzzle. And don't worry about naming parts. So if you see something that you know to be a hand, don't think of it as a hand. In fact, don't even give it the name hand. Just look at it as curves and lines and draw what you see. Forcing the mental shift from the dominant left hemisphere to the subdominant right hemisphere will make you draw what you see rather than what you perceive. And it says, don't make it complicated. Seen upside down, even well-known faces are difficult to recognise. A complex drawing, the book goes on to say, will be almost impossible to figure out, as the left brain just basically gives up. The book suggests trying it out with an old shopping list in your own handwriting. Turn it upside down and see if you can still read what it says. Obviously, you can't actually literally do this when you're out urban sketching. I can't turn the building upside down or turn my head upside down. Well, not without attracting more attention to myself than being out sketching already sometimes does. But the idea is that once you practice it and set up the conditions for this mental shift, you'll do it instinctively and be able to draw in this state without needing to actually rotate the object. I can already see that it's working because I've ended up in more or less the right place for this shoelace to meet up with the other end of it here without even consciously thinking about it. I'm struggling a bit, I can't really see out of my right eye. I nearly drew that star just as a star, as in the shape that we all know it to be and how we learnt to draw it at school. So now I'm consciously trying to just copy the lines and think about them as lines and not name it as a star or think about it as being that shape at all. Text might be quite strange to draw because even upside down you know what the letters say, but you've just got to try and ignore that really. I don't know what that bit says, which is good really. It certainly doesn't say anything now. If you've watched any of my previous urban sketching videos, I've often mentioned that one of the things I sometimes really struggle with is getting the proportions and angles right at the very beginning of the sketch. And once I've established a few markers and got further into the sketch, things usually start to fall into place a bit better. And I do have some other techniques that I use when I remember to help with these issues. such as using dots to mark the edges and corners of buildings, looking at negative space, imagining a clock face to roughly calculate angles. I've actually got a whole video of these techniques being put into use. I'll put a link up here. And they definitely help when I remember to implement them. So I'm going to try to practice this exercise every day and see if I think it helps when I get back outside. If you're interested to know the results, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to find out if my life actually changes. If you decide to give it a try, I'd be really interested to hear how you get on with it and whether it makes any difference to your urban sketching. So please do leave a comment. Well, I probably wouldn't want to wear it, but there's my first attempt. Thanks for watching. Happy sketching.